Salam Vardians. Here's a question of the day. True or false? EMTs can only work in an ambulance. The answer will be at the end of the episode. Enjoy! Hey y'all, I hope you're well. Welcome to another episode of Healthcare Boulevard. This is a podcast where we shine more light on healthcare, and our goal here is to provide more options to people looking to choose healthcare as a career path, regardless of their background. My name is Sena Kapomo, and I am your host and creator here. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Remember, you can tune in on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode.
We are here for another interview, and I'm here today with Julia Sieff. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to have her introduce herself. Julia, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Senan. How are you?
I am well, thank you. Welcome to Healthcare Boulevard. We appreciate having you here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Julia Sieff. I am an EMT in South Los Angeles. I work on an outreach team that serves the homeless population. So I'm kind of a unique EMT. I'm also a pre-PA, so I'm a pre-physician assistant. And I'm also going to school part-time for that. So.
Awesome. So how long have you been an EMT now?
I've been an EMT, well, I got my certification in 2019. I've been a working EMT for about a year now.
Okay. How do you like it?
I love it. I especially love the kind of EMT work that I do. To be honest, it's kind of why I really wanted to be on your podcast, because people don't really know that there are different types of EMTs, and I love talking about it because, I think when people think EMT, they think ambulance, they think, like fire department, and being a unique EMT is such a fun and unique experience that I love talking about it and I love doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's bring ourselves back a little bit and tell us about what the training was like for you to become an EMT.
Yeah, so in the state of California, to become an EMT, you have to attend a state certified program or a state accredited program. The length can range from a month to 6 months, depends on how you want to pace yourself. I did an expedited, super fast 5-week course. It was really intense, but you do that training. And before that, you really just need a high school diploma, GED equivalent. And then you finish your training, and there's a skills section within that, time period. You work on, manual resuscitation, stuff like, using different tools. And then after that, you take the national certifying exam, or the NREMT test, which is very intimidating, but once you do it, you do it.
Yeah, no, I imagine. And what got you decide to want to become that's a handful. Sometimes my word salad crack me up. Anyway, how did you decide, and why did you decide to become an EMT?
I wanted to become an EMT because I knew I wanted to become a physician assistant, and I knew I wanted hands-on patient care. And EMT seemed like the most interesting option, to be honest. I didn't want to do office work. I didn't want to do like filing and stuff like that. I wanted to be with patients. And honestly, that's part of why I want to be a physician assistant. I want that maximum patient time, because to me, that's why you go into medicine. And it's kind of funny. I end up doing a little bit of office work in my current position, but yeah.
Okay. And how did you find this niche? Let's dive into that.
Yeah, because it is very specific. Honestly, a little bit of luck. My first EMT job was, I worked in COVID testing. which was nice, which is great, very important, especially because I worked with a school district. So I was working with kids and teachers, getting them back. But I knew that I wanted to work with like an underserved population. I've always been drawn to working with the homeless population. In Los Angeles, we have a homeless crisis, more homeless people in Los Angeles than, most, like anywhere else pretty much.
Yeah.
So I always knew I wanted to work with the homeless population, and I had kind of had like a radar out looking for EMT jobs maybe that worked with, more vulnerable population or just, in a different location. And I kind of just stumbled upon it. It was pretty lucky. Yeah.
Wow. And tell us a little bit about what your duties are, right? Run us through like a day in your position as an EMT.
Sure. So as an outreach EMT, I go out on outreach. And what that entails is we get in these little vans, and I'm in a team with a mental health specialist, either a social worker or a therapist, and a substance use counselor and case managers. And we get in a little van and we drive around and we meet some wonderful people who, were able to step up and help. And so I do a lot of wound care in the field, and that means literally like on the streets, pulling out my blood pressure cuff and, that kind of stuff. I change bandages, help people get to, where they need to go. Sometimes people don't realize, oh, this is more serious. I need someone. So sometimes it's just like creating that relationship, gaining trust, building trust, I should say, and being able to point them in the right direction. So that's half of my day, kind of. I do outreach for half of the day, and then the other half, I have established clients who I help monitor chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and I help connect them to community resources. And yeah.
So I'm trying to get a better idea. So you're working with people who are homeless, right?
Yes.
So how are you and your team deciding or knowing who to go to and when?
Yeah, so I mean, we're driving or walking around, the streets, and people just, we don't like only help. If someone's standing there, bleeding, I'm not going to ignore them. But it's just generally the people who are, hanging out, who are there that, I'm going to help out. So.
And then for your established patient, do you have a certain place that you go to help them out, or do they know to come to like your location, or how does that meet up work?
Either I meet them where they're staying currently, sometimes they'll have a little setup, or they'll come towards our office, which is in South Los Angeles. I also can, try to make a rendezvous point. I'll have people meet me closer to a health clinic so that I can really like help them, get established care. Because as much as I can do as an EMT, I know that, the goal is, and that's kind of the heart of it as an EMT, like the goal of what we do is to transport someone to a higher level of care. So
leading right into it, how do you then describe an EMT?
So EMTs are first responders. I should say, we typically do pre-hospital or out-of-hospital medical care. They work with paramedics, nurses, or other EMTs on ambulances. In Los Angeles, we have a lot of film sites. So there's a lot of, film crew EMTs or working at big events. So EMTs typically they work either in groups or with paramedics, fire departments,
Right. And what have you noticed are some challenges you noted as an EMT since you started working, especially in this population?
Challenges. Challenges. I know that with myself, as someone who wants to work in like a higher level of medicine, sometimes I get frustrated with what I can't do. It's very important to know your scope and know what you can and can't do. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could just do everything, but that's why I'm in school, right? That's why I'm getting ready to hit the next level.
Yeah.
That's not really a challenge though. It's more of a like internal frustration. But I mean, I work with an incredibly challenging population, I will say. Clients disappear on me. We call them clients. They are patients though. My patients disappear on me for weeks at a time, come back, disappear. My regular patients usually have either substance use issues, substance use disorders, or sometimes severe mental illness. So working with this population is, it's really hard to help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. So it's really about, working with someone, building trust, helping them see, that they deserve to be better. They deserve to feel better and get the care that they need. So.
Yeah. And on the flip side, what have you been some of your favorite parts?
It's so rewarding to help people. It feels so good to help people get the care they need, give people the care they need.
Now, we already know the demographic of people you're working with. Have you come across any kids or elderlies that you've had to help on the street?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So my organization we do not work with children. Like I cannot have children reoccurring patients, established patients. But I have patients ages 18 to 70, men, women, all sorts of backgrounds, walks of life. Homelessness is not it's not restrictive to one area. And because there's a distinction between chronic homelessness and like short-term homelessness. There are people who are first-time homelessness who are housed within a year. That's great. That makes me so happy. But they don't tend to be my patients. My patients tend to be people experiencing chronic homelessness. So we see a lot of diversity, and it's part of the job. Yeah. And being able to recognize the needs of different cultural backgrounds and help patients.
Yeah. It's very vast and very important what you're doing. Now, going to school and making sure you're keeping track of all the peer school requirements.
Oh my gosh.
You have so much time in your hands and you're just relaxed.
Yeah, and I just started 2 volunteer positions, so I'm working in it right now. I am not.
Tell us, how do you at least attempt to keep a balance between all of your responsibilities and still manage to have some fun and relax and keep some leisure around the corner?
It's hard. Self-care is so important. Self-care is like whatever that means for you. If that means eating a delicious brownie or taking a bubble bath, whenever you can, just think like, if I can do something nice for myself, put on a comfy sweater. It's little things. But also I have a really strong support group. I have like family, friends, people who love me and who I love, who really support me. And that means that on days where I don't have energy to think or work or and not work, but like I just don't have the energy to adult, essentially. I have this wonderful support group who will help me out. And EMTs are prone to burnout. EMS is definitely a field with a high turnover rate, because you see a lot of hard things. You work pretty brutal hours. I'm pretty fortunate. My hours are more regular, kind of like Monday through Friday, type of work. But being in EMS, having a strong support group, having boundaries, when you're off the clock, you're not working. I
Yeah.
have a work phone. I turn that off.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, well, we out. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's important, and just take care of yourself in whatever way you can.
Mm-hmm.
I have hobbies. I read a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a really
What
long
type of
commute.
what's your preferred category of things to read?
Oh, anything and everything. I like a lot of like, oh gosh, I don't know. I read like, I've listened to this Hank Green book like 4 times or something. I listen to audiobooks because I have a really long commute. Pro tip, if you're in Los Angeles and you have a long commute, audiobooks are wonderful. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
I like a little bit of
absolutely.
everything. Yeah.
Oh, good. You're definitely ready for PA school. So if any school turn them down, tell them, but Sana say I'm ready. Come on now.
Yeah, I will.
let them take it off with me, okay? Now leading on to some of our last questions, what now for people who are wanting to work as an EMT for longer period, what are some leadership or growth opportunities for that position specifically?
I mean, within EMS, are you saying like stay as an EMT, not even go to paramedic?
Right.
Okay. So
yeah. Or if paramedic is the next best thing, you just explain sort of the hierarchy of that setting.
Sure. So EMTs are, we're called, in California, we're called EMT basics.
Okay.
And there's only so much we can do. Above EMTs are paramedics. Other states have something called advanced EMTs or something. I'm not super familiar with that. But it's EMT, then paramedics. Paramedics can do a lot in the field, or a lot more, I should say. And then sometimes there are nurses who will go out with EMTs, who all work in EMS. So this is all about pre-hospital care. And then, when I was in EMT school, my instructor was a former flight nurse. So went from EMT, paramedic, nurse to flight nurse, and that's still in emergency medical services. If you've ever heard of, obviously you have, but like, if there's an emergency and you need to like helicopter someone out or something, you'll have a nurse who's specifically trained for that field. And so EMS, there's a lot. If you're passionate about working in emergency, but you don't want to work in like a hospital setting, there is room to grow. Just be aware of that burnout and be aware of that, like getting that work-life balance.
Yeah, it's even more important. And being in your position, wait, are you done with your bachelor's degree? Or you complete? Okay, so what did you get your bachelor's in?
I got a bachelor's of arts, of language studies. So
okay.
Yeah, I loved learning languages in undergraduate, and I always knew I wanted to work in medicine, and I thought, oh, well, this is helpful. So I concentrated in Spanish, and that's super helpful, super useful if anyone's thinking about the medical field. Pick up a second language.
Especially like in the setting that you're in Los Angeles. Spanish is right on the nose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask now. So you knew you wanted to become a PA while you were in undergrad and while you were deciding on your major?
I knew I wanted to work in medicine. I don't remember the minute, whatever I learned about the PA profession. I wish I remembered that. That would be amazing. But I knew I wanted to work in medicine. And then as soon as I found PA, I was like, yeah, this is it for me. This is the right field. So.
Yeah. So now you're going to school part-time, completing your prerequisites. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm working on a post-baccalaureate certificate program at UCLA. So at UCLA Extension. About to finish. Yay.
When do you finish? You're almost done.
After this quarter.
Oh, wow. You really are almost done. Okay. Yeah. And what's your expected application cycle for PA school?
This cycle will be my first cycle and
Okay.
hopefully my only cycle.
Okay. All right. And when does the cycle start? I generally.
Like within a week, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're going to be busy. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel tired just thinking about all the responsibility coming your way.
Yeah.
But you know what? I am rooting for you. I believe you handle it with grace and the love. So I appreciate you coming in. Last question before I let you go. Well, you pretty much already told us your advice for, but if you have anything to add, any advice for people who are wanting to become an EMT?
Set up a support group. Number one, have family, friends who support you and love you and are aware of how hard it can be. There's having that person at the end of the day being there to listen to you is so important. And then also pick up a second language if you can. In California, not a lot of people know this. If you're completely not interested in Spanish or you already know Spanish, Tagalog is also a really important language to pick up. So the second language spoken after Spanish, so it's English, Spanish, Tagalog, and see, this is the language studies major coming out of me.
Yeah, I got you. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, pick up that second language and just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one piece of advice.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I could talk about this for hours. So, but if you're thinking about working in EMS, just be prepared that even in traditional EMS settings, when you think of the ambulance with the lights and the sirens, most of what you see is not, 911 heart attacks, strokes, car accidents, like Grey's Anatomy drama. You're not seeing a lot of that. I mean, there is that. There is, especially if you work with a 911 contract or a fire department, but a lot of it's working with the geriatric population, or with fall risks. There's a lot of psych work and EMS, and I just think it's important to know what you're going into because EMTs have a really important position in that they're able to really connect with patients who are in an extremely vulnerable position. Whether that be in that emergency, scary, dramatic moment, or if that's, an elderly person who just fell and might not be completely aware of where they are or something, and just being able to offer a word of kindness is something that EMTs can really do. And so if you go in knowing what the field is, you're going to be better prepared for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Julia, thank you so much for taking off your beautiful, busy time and shedding some light on different things one can do with the EMT, because I would not have known about this niche, this specialization, if you may call it, for an EMT if I hadn't met you. So I appreciate that. Good luck to you in PA school. I'm very excited. You're going to be an amazing PA, I can tell. We are all rooting for you and excited to have you on our side.
Thank you. I can't wait to be a true colleague. So.
I know it's gonna be fun. We can talk about all the crazy cases.
Yes.
And learn from each other.
Exactly.
That's the best part.
Yeah, medicine.
It really is nice to talk to colleagues and be like, oh, how was your day? They usually tell you about the craziest case, and sometimes they call me or I call them, be like, what would you have done in that situation? Or did there something that I missed or whatever? And that's amazing to have that group of people that you really trust their medical judgment and their personality as a human to say, oh, let me see what they will have done different, or they trust you to say, oh, listen to you as far as anything you will have done different.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I love about having my little niche of friends I have who are providers as well.
Yeah. The best medicine is collaborative medicine. We are healers, we are providers. I mean, you're a provider, I'm an EMT, but
you're almost there. You gotta fake it till you make it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
you gotta, well, it's not faking it, it's what's the word? You're putting the atmosphere. Okay.
Yes.
You're getting ready for it mentally.
Yeah.
But Okay,
There's
well,
not like
thank you
one
again.
person. Thank you so much, Senan.
Of
I've
course.
loved being on this. I've loved talking to you. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And like I said, if there's anything I can do to help you through this journey, you know where to find me.
Just be ready. I'll call you and be like,
I
oh my
got you.
gosh.
I got you. I take all my calls while I'm either going to work or coming from work. That's the best time. Okay. Kill
Okay.
traffic right up. All right, girl. You have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you. You too. You too.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, the answer is false. If you listen throughout the episode, you know that our guest today doesn't work in an ambulance, which is a generic setting for EMTs. So, I hope you'll enjoy the episode. Have a blessed day. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you. Please subscribe, follow, like, comment, and share. And stay blessed. Bye.